Bible Discourse 55. Jesus condemns hypocrisy and self-serving judgment in religion and law. And as he spoke, and as he spake, a certain Pharisee besought him to dine with him. And he went in and sat down to meat. And when the Pharisee saw it, he marveled that he had not first fasted before dinner. And the Lord said unto him, Now do ye Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. Ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? But rather give alms of such things as ye have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Pharisee, for a tithe, mini, mint, and rue, and all manner of herbs, and Passover judgment, and the love of God. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Woe unto you, Pharisees, for ye love the uppermost seats in the synagogues and greetings in the markets. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. Then answered one of the lawyers and said unto him, Master, thus saying, thou reproachest us also. And he said, Woe unto you also, ye lawyers, for ye laid men with burdens grievous to be borne, and ye yourself touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truth, ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed kill them, and ye build their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of the generation, from the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zechariah, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it will be required of the generation. Woe unto you, liars, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge. Ye entered not in yourselves, and they that were entering they hindered. Luke 11:37-52. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple is a debtor. A fools and blind, for whether is greater the gold of the temple that sanctifieth the gold, and whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar, sweareth by it, and by all things thereon, and who shall swear by the temple, sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that sweareth by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Matthew 23:15 to 22. And as he said these things unto them, the scribes and the Pharisees began to urge him vehemently, and to provoke him to speak of many things, laying wait for him, and seeking to catch something out of his mouth, that they might accuse him. In the meantime, when they were gathered together, an innumerable multitudes of people, in so much that they rode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever A has spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear is in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Luke 11:53-12:3. And as he spake, a certain Pharisee besought him to dine with him, and he went in and sat down to meat. And when the Pharisee saw it, he marveled that he had not first washed before the dinner. And the Lord said unto him, now do ye Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. Ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? But rather give alms of such things as ye have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, for Pharisees, for ye teeth a mint, and you ruined all manner of herbs, and pass over judgment and the love of God. These ought A to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Luke 11:37-42. Parallel reference. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Matthew 23:23-26. Jesus said, you must clean within and without. You must clean inner mental and spiritual faculties, which is primary, so that you be a giver of spiritual alms to others. The inner life of extortion and excess is very important. When the conscience is cleansed, then behold, all things are clean unto you. Otherwise, O you hypocrites, blind with ignorance, you will reap much woe due to your evils. Woe unto you, Pharisees, for ye love the uppermost seals in the synagogues and greetings in the markets. Luke 11:43, parallel reference. And he said unto them in his doctrine, beware of the scribes which love to go in long clothing and love salutations in the marketplaces and the chief seats in the synagogues and the uppermost rooms at feast, which devour windows, houses, and for a pretense make a long prayer. These shall receive damnation. Mark 12:38-40. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the border of their garment and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren, and call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither ye be called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest amongst you shall be your servant, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the great damnation. Matthew 23:5-12, 14. Jesus said, woe unto you, Pharisees, do not seek acclaim through pretentious display of superficial spirituality. O hypocrites, you will attract misery unto yourselves through your love of man's recognition, having no conscience as to your standing in God's eyes. Ignorantly, you covet the prominent seats in the synagogues and uppermost rooms at feasts. Jesus cited Tadri's sham of the scribes and Pharisees who sought to appear impressive by making broad their phylacteries. Jesus said one should not thrive for titles of honor as a status symbol. The honors behind such honors as Rabbi or Master, for one is your Master, even Christ. There is only one Master, omnipotent God, whose universal reflection is Christ's consciousness. We are all His children. He is only our Father. So Jesus said, call no man your Father upon earth, your gods. John 10:34. A master may be a Jivan Mukta, liberated by living. Jivan Mukta, who is free from all karmic bondages, past and present, is Siddha, a perfected being. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the devotee remains conscious of the world as well as God. Savikalpa Samadhi is lesser than that, in which while in meditation he will remain with God. In Savikalpa Samadhi he will merge with God. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you will merge with yourself within yourself. That is why Jesus said, the greatest amongst you is he who is humblest and the most serviceful. Said ago, whosoever shall exaggerate the merit of his ego in order to attract people's praise and favor will instantly be found out. When you are everything and in each and everything, where is ego? Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. Luke 11:44. A person who touched a grave considered unclean for 7 days. Jewish law, Numbers 19:16. Parallel reference. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Matthew 23:27-28. Jesus said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Your external purity cannot influence the internal and mental purity under no circumstances. You are unclean like graves. Then answered one of the liars and said unto him, Master, thus saying, thou reproachest us also. And he said, woe unto you also, ye liars, for ye laid men with burdens grievous to be borne, and yet yourself touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. Reference. Then spake Jesus to the multitude unto his disciples, saying, the scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not they after their works. For they say, and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. Matthew 23:1-4. 1-4. Jesus said, you put so much burden, financial or otherwise, on the poor devotees. You yourselves will not do any work. Jesus observed that the Pharisees occupied the Mosaic seat of authority, supposedly as custodians of the teachings of Moses. Therefore, Jesus advised his disciples to observe whatever good rules they were asked to follow, but to discard all other sundry rules. Go unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truth ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and ye build their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation. From the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zechariah, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily, I say unto you, it will be required of this generation. Woe unto you, liars! For ye have not taken away the key of knowledge. Ye entered not in yourselves, and them that were entering they hindered. Luke 11:47-52. Parallel reference. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer. Ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tomb of prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partake with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore, ye be witness unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the mother of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you, you prophet and wise men and scribes, and some of them shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall scourge in your synagogue, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. Matthew 23:13-29-36. Jesus then further accuses the scribes and Pharisees of hypocrisy, because ye build the tomb of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. They were slain by your father. You will disown the deeds of your father to pretend as though nothing has been done. If we had been in the days of our father, we would not have been partakers of the blood of prophets. The cumulative effect of good and bad actions affect the destiny of nations. You human serpents, you generation of evildoers, you shall not escape. According to the law of karma, bad vibrations vibrate. The ether upon this present wicked generation, it causes untold miseries. It is the cause of the famines, fires, epidemics, pestilence, earthquakes, wars, bloody fluids and strife, debauchery and wickedness. A passage from the Old Testament book of Nehemiah 9:25-28 describes such treatment of the Hebrew prophets. Part of the recurrent cycle of forgetfulness of God, karmic punishment, and subsequent repentance. Jesus said, the blood of the prophets shall be required of the generation. You scribes and Pharisees, your hypocrisy and ill intent brings you untold misery. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compare sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourself. Woe unto you, a blind guide, which you say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple is debtor. A fool and blind, for whether it is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold, and whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. A fool and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifies the gift. Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar, sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple, sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that sweareth by heaven, sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Matthew 23:15-20. Jesus said, woe unto you, anyone who by evil actions or what defile the altar of the body, also defile the soul which resides in the body, temple, resides in the body temple. Altar of the body is also important in that it holds the soul gift. If soul gift is defiled, then you are automatically treating the spirit sacrilegiously. No one should transgress against law. And as he said these things unto them, the scribes and the Pharisees began to urge him vehemently and to provoke him to speak of many things, laying wait for him and seeking to cast something out of his mouth that they might accuse him. In the meantime, when they were gathered together, an innumerable multitude of people, in so much that they trod one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetop. Luke 11:53, 12:3. Jesus said, nothing can be hidden. All good and bad motives will be known either today or tomorrow because they speak themselves. Evil cannot be hidden even if you speak in whispers or in closets of secrecy, it will be made known. God knows everything. End of the discourse.